It's the Real Anglers Podcast with community Kevin Brannon, brought to you by AFTCO Fishing Apparel and Tackle, designed to perform. Channel Islands Sport Fishing, offering deep-sea fishing on quality sport fishing charter boats, and more. Costa Sunglasses. Discover life's greatest adventures with Costa. See what's out there. Daiwa. If you want innovation and quality in your fishing products, Daiwa has what you need. Promar and Ahi USA. Premium fishing products and accessories with concepts developed by passionate anglers. Eagle Claw. American ingenuity and craftsmanship since 1925. Mudhole, the world's largest inventory of rod building and tackle crafting components from the best brands. Mossy Oak. From hot days in the water to sweltering afternoons in the woods, we've got you covered. Outfit your obsession. Special thanks to Subaru of Ventura and the Latino Business Expo. And now, here's your host, Community Kevin Brannon. Barry is here, which tells you it's time for the Real Angler Podcast. We have Community Kevin Brannon sitting here. We have Barry, of course, and I am Scott Bolton, and we're going to be talking about the great year that the Guppy program has, that everything involved with Real Anglers has to do. And it's just so exciting to be part of this at this time. So, and we're also going to wish you all a very happy Christmas and a happy New Year as well.
Merry New Year! I was watching Trading Places the other day.
Great movie.
When,
yeah.
Eddie Murphy comes in as the African guy.
Yes.
Aboonga boogala boogala. Merry New Year.
You gotta love Eddie Murphy, especially that.
Day before yesterday. That's a Christmas movie.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Absolutely.
And we're gonna do so. Scott also locally on the radio show that I do Fridays. Scott does it on Thursday, and he's the movie guy. So he gives his opinion on a couple of movies that you guys could watch out. So we're going to start incorporating some of that. So if you're listening and you're at home and you want to think about what you could Netflix and chill to, or different series, that we're going to get Scotty's input on what his review is, because that's what he does on another show. So I thought I might as well just incorporate that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that
2025 too, just to mix it up. Because again, this isn't always fishing. Sometimes it's business, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today. It's about a 30-minute show today. Just to close it out, we're trying to get Marshall to come in. He's outside right now taking care of a couple of things, but we'd like to bring him in because of all the work that he does with the program over the years, and see he might have a standout story that I can't remember because there's so many in my brain. So we'll see if Marshall comes on in too. So.
Marshall, he's such an important part to all of this because he's always here when I see him more than any other member of the team except for Kevin.
He's my work wife.
And yeah, his work wife. And it's always good to see him when I come in, and he's always, the guy just, he works hard and he loves being here, which I think is key.
Yeah, he's one of, we wouldn't be where we're at without Marshall.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
He's been there when I remember we just had our first brochure, and I think we had, I didn't think we had a tablecloth yet or a banner, and we were at the Mothers Against Drunk Driving. We got invited by the chief of police in Wainimi, and there was me and Marshall trying to do a little casting game with the kids casting in a Bubbling Springs Park. So it's been there a long time. I didn't even think he was gray yet.
Really?
Yeah, pre-gray. Now he looks like Grover with his gray beard. When it grows in, we call him Grover. And because he has all his blue gear on too, or Papa Smurf. Sometimes they call him Papa Smurf. He has all his blue with his beard. So Marshall was here before he was gray.
When I go out and grab him, I'm going to call him Papa Smurf. See if he comes in. So where are we going to start? We got so much to talk about. So much of the good stuff that happened, and so much of the good stuff that's going to happen.
We're going to start with our sponsor recognition, and sometimes we run ads, but I wanted to start out with it so you could hear my voiceover. But also there's a couple in here that I wanted to showcase, because the point of it, when we talk about visions and dreams of what the importance of them becoming actual sponsors for the Real Angler Network. And first off, we're going to go with Daiwa. Daiwa has been a sponsor, like a rod that I have, a reel that I've been fishing with since I was a deckhand on the Aquarius. John Christensen had the Daiwas for us. And I used to use the little sea line, so I fell in love with Daiwa when I was like 12 years old. And then meeting Mark Mills and his wife at the fishing summit in New Orleans, and just talking about how I fished with the gear, and he said, "You're not on our team yet," and I didn't even know who he was, and that's kind of how the conversation started. The guy said they're from Daiwa, and I was at breakfast, and I was like, "Hey, yeah, we've been doing it." So this year at the ASA, they committed to sponsorship so that we can do these episodes and go on the road with the camera guy, that we actually have some funding. It's not just awesome. Gear. Some of the donors, some of them just like to give us gear, which is great, and you got to climb that ladder. But they came on as the official premier sponsor this year for 2025. Nice. So I want to send a shout out to them. But the point of that is like, we're not trying to shop every fishing reel that we can get. Daiwa's been the one I've been trying. There's a guy named Frank at all the shows, and I've been trying to get a deal with him, and he's like, you're just too valuable for me just to give you some stuff, and finally got me up to where I'm at. So thank you to Daiwa. Then we have China Island Sport Fishing. They've been with us a long time. Not only do they support Rollinger's Fishing Shows on my first sponsors, you can see there's just here in the back, but you can also see that it looks like we're going to change some banners too in here. That they've been supporting me when I first started the Vernans, and then they also give us bait and fund the Real Guppy Outdoor program per year, and all the cut bait and the live bait that we get. China Island Sport Fishing, and I do a lot of films out of there. And then third would be AFCO, American Fish and Tackle Company, with the sheds. They've been supporting Real Guppy Outdoors for a couple of years, and with little gift cards for the kids and the cleanup bags. And then this year they committed to funding, so that we can utilize that again for production cost. You know, Scotty's not free.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, but that's great though. Scotty's part of the team. Our Christmas party's Saturday, bringing him in. But the funding helps. You know, I can't trade gear for the services. And we have a new guy, Thomas, that you'll see a new episode come out. We went and fished stripers last Friday, and he edited that piece. And then there's a citizen science video that came up, so we had somebody come out and film Giselle that'll be helping us too, and she has a drone, so we're able to pay these videographers to come in versus me holding the camera or me holding my phone and talking way that we actually have there. So that way next year I'm doing more informational talking from than holding the camera. So again, that comes with cost, and distributing our episodes. And again, we want to just thank Daiwa, China Island Sport Fishing, and AFCO for coming in with their monetary sponsorship. And again, these are people that have worked with us forever. It's not just whoever we could find funding from. And then lastly is Costa Del Mar Sunglasses, or Costa Del Mar Sunglasses. I always throw A in there, but Costa Sunglasses, and see what's out there. They've been with me for a couple of years too, and they gave me I got gear down there, Scotty, somewhere. My Christmas gear. I got a backpack and all that stuff, and some hoodies, so I'll be dressed nice. But even when we go on out to film, you know, we have a film bag, we have a bag for our fish. I picked gear that it's going to be perfect again, so you'll see an organic product placement in our show.
Very nice. Those are the best kinds.
Use, so yeah, again, thank you to our sponsors. And you'll hear little ads from them, but I just wanted to start the year out with them because that's going to lead into what we're going to do. The capacity is the word I learned this year in nonprofit to help us project for the filmmaking side and the art side when we talk about the STEAM work that we're doing coming up, Scotty. So just want to send a shout out to them.
Yeah, this is very interesting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because we tell stories.
Right.
As storytellers, I want to give you the backstory on how it is versus just being approached, you know,
yes,
on the sponsorships that we have. Oh, guess who has a meeting with Walmart, though, January 6th?
Really? For your books?
Not yet. We're going to start with Daiwa, and you're going to might see the Real Angler logo on the Community Kev logo on some family fishing gear at your local Walmarts in California. And then if it's good, we'll go up to Oregon and Washington. So I'll be the West Coast guy. Basically, I want to be the Bill Dance for the West Coast, or just the newest, latest for that, because he's aging out. So it's my obligation, responsibility.
Dude, that is awesome. Congratulations on that. And by the way, the books are a nice lead-in. If you're going to be the voice and the face, then the book should be there as well. And that's huge for you. That would be amazing.
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 And then don't forget, like, if we use our deep fryers and other stuff that we use at Walmart. So again, everything that we do with our partnerships, you got to think about that. If you're a brand, if you're an entrepreneur listening, and you're branding like of collaborational efforts, and how do you showcase the whole thing, not just you know, highlight yourself, like how is everybody winning in it all. So we bring a value, right? We talk about pest control when we were there, when you can bring a value and kill bugs and rodents and trap and get rid of aphids and all that. You kind of just building this this worth, you know,
right,
this value. So I think about that. What we do with our brand.
I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
So how's your week going, Scotty? What do you got ready for Christmas? You get all your shopping done? I wear a size 10 shoe in case you want to get Kevin anything for...
I'm glad you let me know that, yeah. No, we're sticking around the house. We're not going anywhere this year. Usually we would go up to Bishop or something, but this year we're sticking around.
You just got back from Bishop, right?
Yeah, we went up there for Thanksgiving. So my brother's in Costa Rica now, so it's like just going to be me, my mom, and my wife, my son and his new wife. They're going to be in San Diego with the in-laws for the first time, so that's going to be odd. So it's going to be a very quiet Christmas for us. What about you? What are you guys doing?
I am doing nothing. I am going to chill. I got a new little bundle of joy that Unique gave the family.
Right.
And besides that, I think we're just going to go hiking and chill.
Hiking's always a
get
good
ready
thing.
for the new year. Kick back, lay back. I got the gifts that I got from a couple sponsors. I'm going to wrap up. I have something for all of our team. As cliche as it sounds, like I have ideas and visions of us having one of those Bishop Christmases, or somewhere up there in the Sierras, or Big Bear or something with the white snow. So we're going to plan on that for next year. So this year we're just going to, usually I make these Italian sausages. I don't know if you ever tried my Italian sausages.
Don't think
at Christmas.
I have.
But this year I'm just gonna probably hike, and maybe I'll take my boat out. We got a new boat we'll talk about, and just kind of get ready for the new year, man, and keep it a little bit low pro for Christmas. Watch Christmas movies, put on the thing, wear my jammies all day. I got a new blanket, a little Christmas blanket I'll probably wear, and that's it, man.
You got football on Christmas Day?
Man, super football.
I thought so. Well, you've earned it. You know what? It's time for you to take a little time off and decompress. And even one day helps a lot. So more power to you, my friend.
Yeah, man. It's pretty cool. And I'm not like that. I know some people might be listening. I know it's a tough time of year for some people. Our mom passed away, and like who you're missing around it. And I don't really have that lonely feeling, to be like, if it's just a day, relax, I'm cool with that. But I do love Christmas. So I have a little tree. I got some decorations. We got the Learning Center opened up. So we'll be festive in some way.
Very nice, as you should be.
So one thing we forgot, I wanted to mention right on our notes is that I also wanted to take the Coastal Commission and this Wells Tail grant that we got. I want to talk about that for a second and thank them on our show. And because we did the Scuppy Ranger program, and when we get into 2025, we're just finishing up the report and it shot an episode for that. But how it stretched me, man, as a leader and as a director this year, and managing volunteers and getting people to come in and help. And then we did a 32-week series, and what we could take from that and break it down if we were going to do age appropriate type of shorter series, or our speakers, and how we brought all these businesses and government agencies together that need a chance to outreach to youth and families, but they don't have the resources to get into a school and get that kind of saturation that we were able to do, and then merge our missions in the middle.
Very nice.
So thank you to the Wells Tail. Annie has been great with helping us with questions. And again, just wanted to say thank you to them. And we applied for it a couple times. And this is one of the things, again, about our brand and vision of what we talk about, how we expanded, Scotty, is that the vision was there. And it's like when you just say we take kids fishing, some people, it's harder to fund because it's not like a recreational sport. And I know our fishing industry does that. But when you start adding the education component, one of the things was the rod building, the rebuilding part that they liked about taking something that's been damaged and broken and refurbished and used. And because we had a meeting with them to see like how come we didn't get it the last year and the year before, because again we were just taking kids fishing, and for the price that we're asking we had to insert some things that we've already had, so then to take those ideas and then build that together with the students from the university to create an outline of this 32 weeks that we did in 8 different series. And we had to modify things and change a few things. Like we know that if we're going to go on the boat in the summertime, that we should probably make reservations sooner because of the tourism attraction. But then on the nonprofit side of reimbursement, you can't make those reservations until the funding comes back from the first reimbursement cycle. So budgeting and headaches of payroll and all that's about, but I asked for that when I took this position. So that's, it stretched me as a leader and as a director to understand how a nonprofit works, but taking that pilot program, and now we can extend that into 2025 when we get into more STEAM. You heard of STEM, what is that? Science, technology, engineering, and math. And we do a lot of the A as well for art, since we do filmmaking and visual art and culinary art, and how we merge those together with our citizen science, right? So this program, this Guppy Ranger program, really helped us do that. So thank you for the Wells Tail and the Coastal Commission for your support, because now we could take those ideas and multiply them or break them up, but utilizing that piloting program with myself and Marshall, and even things like data collection, my friend, and surveys and things that they need to do. And then being able to bring staff in and have the interns having those jobs so they get the job readiness and stuff. So again, just want to say again, I won't go long-winded. We only got half hour today, but just wanted to thank him and break that out.
One thing that's very important for everybody to remember is that the Real Anglers program isn't, and he said something about this earlier, isn't just about fishing. It's about learning. It's about education. It's about filmmaking. It's about wellness.
Yep.
It was a word that came up as far as what Kevin does at Carpinteria.
It's like the Dockside Learning, Research, and Wellness Center.
I kind of like that.
For your vitamin C.
And plus, it's about learning management, all kinds of different things here. It's inspirational. There are so many elements to what Kevin does and what the team does that it's very important to remember. It's great that kids get to fish, but this program's so much bigger than all of that. So
we lure them in with fishing, the air quotes, and then we brainwash them into taking over the road with their imagination. When kids come in here and there was a family that came in. This lady came in. We're working perhaps with the school next year. Her name's Brandy, and working with another school, because even the educational system, Scotty, in California is changing on people going to public schools or home schools or these charter schools to be like, again, academics isn't always equal your intelligence. So if there's other trade schools that are coming back and other we call opportunities, they use that word a lot, where our program is called Oceans of Opportunity, right? That's what we do. That's what our brochure says. And So Bambi came in with her 2 kids to talk about it. So their kids were coloring the Christmas ornaments that we had and checking it out. And I told them this is where Mickey Mouse comes on his day off, because there's nowhere literally like the Guppy Dockside Learning Research and
that is so true.
Wellness Center.
Yeah, so. Wellness Center. Got to add that in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about what you do at Carpinteria, because you've been doing Carpinteria education and beach visits for a while. Explain to everybody what that's all about.
Yeah, so today we are going up to Carpinteria School. We started again, and again, that's other people advocating for us. Jamie Diamond, that owns the Santa Barbara Sport Fishing, and Jason and Wayne with CCA, other partners. So that's why it's always good to network, because you never know where somebody could be in a room for you. So going up there, this is our 2nd year that they got some funding. They'll be paying Community Kev, rolling their network to do this work, but the same type of ideas I'm going to incorporate what I've grown with the Guppy stuff. So we'll go in there and do our citizen science. They have a production. It's a middle school, so they have a production program that come in, our citizen science. So this year we're going to expand on it. Today we're going to do our initial talk and tell the kids out there, there's tar and stuff on the beach. Maybe you want to wear water shoes. Some of the kids fish afterwards. And so like PE, I was thinking about it. You know, you dress out for PE.
Right.
Maybe you want to dress out appropriately to go down to the beach.
Makes sense.
They're sending some chaperones, but they're the ones that added the word wellness to it too. So that way the students that take part in it, you know, whether you're the fisherman that wants to, like Pedro that's going to come out today. So Pedro is a kid from last year. He's going to be one of my leaders this year.
Very nice.
Kevin Jr. will be there to help, because I get tired Jr. again. And then they'll have a couple chaperones. But again, if they're not all the diehard fishermen that they want to collect seashells or do what else, that there's a wellness component that goes into it. Then again, we'll have somebody talking about the temperature of the water and what the conditions were that we could do it. So today's an introductory day to lay all those things out. And that way to see what other kind of credit these students can get for their project-based learning at the same time. So again, taking again incorporating some of the things from the Guppy Ranger program that we piloted to be in schools as an educator, Scotty. I am waiting for my background check to clear so that I could get my credential. I check my email every, let's check it right now to see if we got it on the air.
Let's hope it came in. That'd be awesome to have that on the air.
Yeah, let's see here.
He's looking right now, because Kevin's going to be a teacher. He's going to be a
Professor Kev. I was at a school yesterday.
Professor Hero Kev. He's getting a lot of titles in front of his name now.
Captain Kev coming up. We'll talk about the boat next.
Yes, we will. Very exciting news about that.
Yeah. All right, no, but
not yet.
There is
lots of emojis.
Yeah, that's funding emojis right there. So get some reimbursement funding back. So that's a whole nother ballgame that we teach about the reimbursement. Let's see, years employment. Oh no, and then the Chamber of Commerce email saying that we got to fill in this paperwork, because there's an opportunity for some of the schools and students to or businesses to volunteer next year. So anyway,
no teacher. All right, it's coming. And it's going to happen.
No clearance.
It's going to change everything. So that's why next year is going to be so big.
Yep. And that's what I mean by thinking the Wellstail grant, to go back to them, is that me piloting those programs and taking notions of opportunity with the Guppy Ranger program and having all these visions and ideas of what can I do if I had the resources, whether it's a learning center like this and not out of my house, and how we could do it. So next year, we'll talk about some of that, what's going on, is that we want to be a partner. We're going to be a partner with other schools like Caps in Ventura, that plays film in Ventura TV. Mm-hmm. And then Santa Barbara Television, but like Vase, where we got Thomas from that filmed for us last week, will come in and they can get hands-on training and field training, so that we could partner and be a co-operation with some of these other learning facilities, or Oxnard College. I went there, or the university, but they could send us students. And here's the kicker, or here's something, is that we're trying to do it at a scale, meaning like 2 or 3, 4 students per semester max, depending on if it's a student intern or 6-month program. So that way, we're really training them and developing them, but it doesn't take away what they're doing at their school. It's just going to enhance their portfolio.
Right. Okay. Very good.
If you're on a national syndicated television fishing show and you're getting work doing that, or creating PBS style film that you can film on our floating laboratory that we'll talk about next, then again,
that looks good on a resume.
Yeah. Then the film student is getting credit for being out in the field doing real film and editing, while the student is doing their science and technology work, or even on our floating laboratory where you have arts, right? So let's say the sun is setting in the Channel Islands, and we have some art students who want to come out and take pictures of the sunset on the water, or paintings, and they could come back and do it here. So that's where we put the A in the STEAM, or STEAM, where it used to be STEM, and art, so we could use this, but be a partner with them, right? Where they could say, hey, if you want to go get some great outdoor footage and pictures, go down with Kev, and then we'll take their students out. So it's a collaborative effort, and we're a resource center for the other students to get all the hands-on training that they can get in those departments, and also learn the business ownership standpoint of how you could own it and be creative versus just being somebody's employee. How do you multiply it? So we'll have even part of those programmings We're going to have the banks that we work with that have donated for them to come in every month to come in and do a financial literacy course. Maybe have them open up a bank account with $50 so they could see what their own capital looks like and start building that up as an owner.
It's a great idea. See how it all meshes together?
That's the math part. Hey, that's the M part. That's the math. You got to count these dollars and cents, man.
The math is my least favorite part, but that's just me. So...
Well, one of these things I'm doing with the university, I'm going to check out. They talk about these social injustice things, right? And we talk about generational curses down here a lot, right? In church or some. Oh, my first family to go to college and stuff. Well, we've got to talk about financial wealth or financial literacy, and now we can talk about generational wealth, right? Versus generational curses. So you can make all that money, but if you don't know the rules of gold, now you're just out being flashy and you're spending all your money. So now you're stuck in your job because you didn't invest or think about it and put it away. Not just a savings for a rainy day, but your own capital.
Yeah.
To have, and how you break that part up. So yeah, we're gonna put that in. So that's part of the math, is having the banks come in here and help financial literacy, man, because I think
that's essential.
Yeah,
it really is.
You could be a millionaire that wins the lottery ticket, or a football player or somebody, and don't know how to manage your finances, man, and then you find yourself broke 2-3 years later because nobody took the time to do it. But one of the ideas I got that from is the NFL does this thing called the Rookie Symposium, where they get rookies together to say, hey, watch out for going to the club and who you hang out with and carrying guns and investing your money, because how many players were buying cars and diamonds.
Yeah.
And a lot of that usually comes from your subconscious of not having anything growing up, being a little, again, the area I come from in talking, I come from the crack epidemic, right? We're from the 80s kids. So that means that where you grew up, people are on crack cocaine. And so who were you looking at? The drug dealers and the ballers, and who had the lowriders, right? So then a kid follows in the footsteps, get busted because that's what they're idolizing.
Right.
But you have a point to where if you had nothing and you lived in poverty, that now you're trying to overcompensate by this bling, because somehow that makes you feel like you are not inferior anymore because you have these material items. So you're a part where you're doing it because yeah, we got it all. We made it finally, baby. We ain't never had it. We used to eat peanut butter and jelly and government cheese and a can of peanut butter. So now I could go out and floss. And then it's like, whoa.
Then it goes
floss
away
too hard. So again, is that an injustice because they don't take the time to showcase how to spend that money? Again, I watched the term, but again, so how do we help with the solution? So part of our STEAM that we're going to do with the math to make sure that people know how to are financial literate.
I think that's brilliant, because you mentioned the lottery. One of the articles I read recently, did you know that 70% of the people who win the lottery don't have it after 10 years?
I believe
it's gone. It's like, wow, 70% of people don't have the financial literacy to know how to manage that money. I wouldn't know, but the first thing I do is find somebody that does, or learn it myself somehow. But that's how important it is, and that's why it's so great that it's part of that program.
No, for real, because it's just gone. If you don't know what you're doing with it, it's just
Look what happened to Mike Tyson. He had so much money, lost it all, got a lot back, but
sorry, I got a text. Like you said, he didn't have wise counselors around him.
That's right.
Right?
He had people who wanted money.
How about Bob Ross? I got my Bob Ross thing. And people that, he doesn't know their family doesn't own any of the rights to their paints, their paint brushes, all that. Somebody conned him out of it, right? And said, hey, sign this contract. And he signed it, and he doesn't own, the Ross family doesn't own anything.
It's like the McDonald's thing. They took it all away from him. That happens. That's why that kind of teaching is so utterly important.
So instead of spending that $100 on the club, you might want to spend $100 or $200 on some attorneys to look at your paperwork, or write up your own paperwork, or somebody gives you something. But again, where would somebody find that wise counsel? Well, guess where you'll find them.
Yeah.
The Dockside Learning Research Wellness
Center. All right. Well, you mentioned floating lab.
Yep.
Let's talk about the floating laboratory.
We have the Calpine Energy Solutions reusable energy grant that we're going to get. We got it. Bam, there it is there. So we do have a boat outside called the Aqua. We're just finishing up the paperwork. And next year we'll have our little floating laboratory to do all these things. And then also the days that we're not filming, we could do that. We could still go out and film our Langler's Fishing Show, at the break wall and stuff. And we did everything legitimate. Chad from The Gentleman will be our captain.
Very
so
nice.
When we're driving around with passengers, that we have a captain that has a license.
A licensed captain?
A licensed captain, yeah, that can to make sure we're all legitimate. And then the county worked with us and to get us a slip and stuff, and where we could load and unload. Basically, though, I just followed the method that I seen from Frank Ursetti that had the Ranger 85 that does the whale watching and the safari trips. You can see those on Real Langers Fishing Show, and his floating laboratory that I filmed for him too. and where we have microscopes and stuff up in here so the kids can do little water samples and look at that.
That is so
I
exciting.
just watched a brilliant guy like Frank Ursetti that did the Ranger 85 in the Coral Sea Floating Laboratory with, because Oxnard College Marine Center was here, he partnered with them.
Yeah, oh, okay.
So he laid the blueprint. I got to film him, and then I just studied the game, and then I still talked to him. I sent him a message yesterday. In ours to be at a smaller scale, we might work with the bigger sport boats in the wintertime for bigger boats, but again, for us to do smaller classrooms, we'll make enough there and be just as impactful than having, orange buses full of kids come on the boat. Like, how do we really strategic and have the kids that want to, again, work in any of these things that we talked about, adding the business, utilizing it for that. So like a different type of strategy to go along with what he was doing with the floating lab and the Safari.
Yeah. That's
and the workbooks that I wrote to go with it. What?
It's all there. That is the most exciting news. I came in today and Kevin told me that and was like, you got to be kidding me. This is,
I didn't tell, I showed him it.
He did. He took me out and showed, you see that? That's ours.
That's our boat.
And it fits this whole thing so perfectly. But you have to add it to the wellness thing now. Right. Wellness and boating stuff.
But here's so you see that? Oh, we can put it on there. Look at snappers. Oh, molly whoppers.
You just saw a brain flash here.
Look right here. It says, what year was this? Did I write this? 22. It says boat on the bottom. It says boat, and I put that right here where it says. See where this says right here, Scotty?
Yep.
It says Brandon's on it. And how all these things work together. Because one of the things is that my daughter just had a friend come in. Now again, this is a boat, but I'm going to be able to utilize this for. This is our. We could have a little bit of a pleasure craft with this, right? So my daughter that would be working for Royal Angler Network, or World Guppy Outdoors. If her friends come in to visit from Sacramento that she went to college with, that they could take a cruise around the harbor in the summertime, man. Just to kind of show, again, because when there was this social injustice movement, when I got another grant, was about like how many people are boat owners, and African Americans, ain't too many of us are boat owners. So even though it's our program, that we could show it that, we could have boats, you know what I mean? Even if it's at a small scale. So my daughter being able to go out or take my granddaughter around, it's like a generational leap for us because, we got the Brandon's got a boat, even though it's a guppy boat and what we're doing it, but if there's days where you want to watch the sunset as a family, or I was just helping out the gentleman doing the Harbor Lights, like next year we'll have a boat in the Harbor Lights. We'll drive around and decorate it as a family. And for us, man, we've been through struggles, trials and tribulations, but by continuing to push forward and never give up and keep our eyes committed to the vision, there are a couple perks that come along with it. And the reason that's kind of like the motivational moment that whatever you're working on or listening to, man, you just keep working at it. That says 2022 up there, and we're going into 2025 because I never gave up. And Melissa, our grant writer, we try to write a pontoon grant to Bass Pro Shops because we could use there's a way where they give you gear. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay, well, let's try a boat. So this floating laboratory idea has been on my brain for a while. So it finally worked itself out.
So it's so awesome. I'm so excited about that. And I'm sure you're going to brand the boat. So if anybody's driving around, it's going to have all the Real Anglers info on it, right?
Oh yeah, we're logoing.
So it's perfect.
Yeah, you got to have the logos on there. You got to have the worm on one side and the guppy on the other.
That's exactly
We'll be calling our friend Fernando at First and Prince to come over and dial that in for us.
Perfect. Beautiful. That's very nice. So quickly, let me go through some of the websites for you so you can check these things out. If you're looking for the Community Kevin website, strangely enough, it's communitykevin.com, and there you'll find information about Kevin and the events and things that we have planned. The Real Anglers Fishing Show is at realanglersfishingshow.com, and those are the full-length episodes.
Kevin. Yeah, just go to Community Kevin.
And then there's links there too?
Yeah, well, they take you to all the sites instead of jumping around.
And then the only one, the podcasts are there too, right?
What does that say?
That says, should I read it out loud?
Yeah.
Lynn Michelilatos from the Greek. You wanted me to connect you to Coastal Marine Biolab's principals in Ventura Harbor. That sounds pretty exciting.
So we're going to expand. So one of the things that we're growing to, not just Ventura Television, is Ventura Harbor and Ventura Pier, an educational center. So to be regional, to go up there because their harbors just went up from ours, Ventura County.
It's not far at all.
Nope. And how do we incorporate some of their resources because their harbor has some different things that we don't have here, lively up, and how do we cross-pollinate, and then also serving the community of Ventura. Or another thing with, did I say It sound like a sea lion. Is that some of the places we want to work with off the 126 in the Santa Paula area. In that area, well, maybe it's easier for them to get to Ventura Harbor or Ventura Pier versus coming to Wainimi Pier. For
you want a little boat, sure.
Area, so.
And the Greek, by the way, on a side note, is an awesome place. I love going there a lot. So that's cool that you're involved with them and that they'll get you introduce some people there.
And that's what you call what I said about the lady from the Diamonds, that you have other people advocating for you, right? Hey, Kev, I could connect you to this thing. Hey, Kev, I could connect you with this because of the work that you've been doing and the foundation that you've laid and the integrity that we have for you and seeing the results of that outcome. One of the things, well, and I'll let you finish up because it's about half hour, is this newsletter that we send out. You know, we collect all these cards. Look at how many cards you got there, Scotty?
There's
boxes and boxes, right? And then we get these things that things, that's not even a word. Then we get, that's just a portion of the kids were emailing the other video, that we send this newsletter out to everybody that's on the Chamber of Commerce from Ventura. And the hot sheets, they all go in our database so that they continually see it. So when I'm out and about lately, it's like, I get your newsletter. I love what you're doing. So if they don't follow us on social or whatever, is saturating that with just the highlights from our newsletter and all the pictures, and that strategy of saying, hey, if we just send out these really cool photos and stories, that we're not just always asking for funds, which I do have an email going to send out to say, hey, if you're going to give money away for the year ends, think about us.
That's fair.
That's why I got to wrap this up. That other people advocate for you, man, on your behalf. Just stay consistent, man. That's the trick, man. Stay consistent. Don't, keep your truths and go hard in the paint, man.
And you've been doing it, and it's been paying off. And like I said, 2025 is going to be the biggest year ever. You just watch and see. So much going on with this program. Woo. It's going to be mind-blowing. So we just wanted to take the time to wish everybody a happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we're going to see you again.
No, because if we're talking about Christmas and you're listening and you're...
I'm going to give you a tip about...
Yeah, shoot some of the movies that you got out there.
I'm just going to give you a tip about how to find the best Christmas movies the cheapest. Go to YouTube.com. There are dozens, if not hundreds, of free Christmas movies that you can watch on YouTube, and you can airplay them to your television or whatever you want to do. I watched last night. I watched The Bells of St. Mary. I've never seen that movie. Old Bing Crosby movie, The Bells of St. Mary, and it's from 1939. Bing Crosby and Ingrid Bergman are the stars. And it's just delightful. It's just a fun, happy Christmas movie. And of course, Bing has to sing every 5 or 6 minutes because that's how they get the funding. You know what's funny about that, though, Kevin? This is one thing I noticed.
Hold on. Let me let's get that for the gram so our listeners.
Okay,
So Scotty's doing his movie premiere for Christmas movies.
Yes, I'm talking about The Bells of St. Mary, which is a movie I watched last night. It's from 1939, and it stars Bing Crosby and Ingrid Bergman. And it's a story of a priest who's sent to an old church that's crumbling. And his decision is whether to tear it down or to keep it open. And so he goes to the church, and of course, what happens? He falls in love with everybody there, the nuns, the children, everybody. So he decides that he's going to let them make the decision.
Don't give away the end.
But I haven't got to the end yet because because here's the thing. They talk about how movies are too long these days. That movie's 2 hours and 6 minutes long from 1939. Still a long movie, not as long as, Lord of the Rings. But anyway, you can find that and many other movies at youtube.com. Just go there, search for Christmas movies. You'll get tons of them, and they're
There's
free.
no only problem with that.
What's that?
For Christmas, I go to YouTube and I play The Fireplace. So I can't play The Fireplace and that movie at the same time.
You could just use different devices.
I do that, though. Since we don't have it yet, I put on the fireplace, and it keeps you warm. And you hear the crackling sound, so I'm like in a little log cabin, even though I'm on the beach.
My daughter-in-law does that. She sits there, she turns on the fire, and she reads her book in the quiet. Yeah. Because she's got that little fire going. That's a cool thing, yeah.
So that'd be the only, but I guess since I stream everything, I'm going to, if I'm watching a movie, even if it's not YouTube, but again, I do go to YouTube and I put on, you can even listen to what music. You can play it while it's playing Christmas music. So Scotty will have our Christmas party here. Saturday, are you going to be here?
I'm applying to begin.
He'll be here because otherwise I have to give you a gift now.
You better be here. I'll be here.
All right.
Okay, that's easy enough.
All right. We're going to see you guys next year. We're going to take off the next 2 weeks. Happy New Year. Again, stay consistent. Don't have a New Year's resolution. We do have goals that you write down so that you can check them off. But that's my opinion anyway. And myself, I'm not going to say a goal, but I did get me a trainer and a coach so I could dial in my nutrition for 90 days and see how lean I can get. So that's what I'm going to do going into the new year. I want to be the happiest, healthiest Kev that I could be, because I know we're going to be outdoors and doing filming shows. We have 12 episodes that we didn't talk about. We're going to have coming out all over California. We'll be in the Bay Area and starting off up there fishing for sturgeon with our buddy Steve-O with Deadliest Cast, me, James, and my brother. So check us in the Bay.
Nice. I'm so excited.
Month.
An episode a month, basically.
Yeah. We already got one started, the one we filmed at the Aqueduct last week. So we'll have one to drop in January. And then we'll have one to go
to set things
January to go into February.
Told you it's going to be a huge year.
And you're still going to see the one-offs that are going to come out and what we're doing, and look for the Real Guppy Outdoor YouTube channel coming to you. That's it. I got to go.
Okay, he's got to go. He's got to accompany him. Barry says Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll see you all next year.
Let's go.
Brought to you by AftCo Fishing Apparel and Tackle, designed to perform. Channel Island Sport Fishing, offering deep-sea fishing on quality sport fishing charter boats, and more. Costa Sunglasses. Discover life's greatest adventures with Costa. See what's out there. Daiwa. If you want innovation and quality in your fishing products, Daiwa has what you need. Promar and Ahi USA. Premium fishing products and accessories with concepts developed by passionate anglers. Eagle Claw. American ingenuity and craftsmanship since 1925. Mudhole, the world's largest inventory of rod building and tackle crafting components from the best brands. Mossy Oak. From hot days in the water to sweltering afternoons in the woods, we've got you covered. Outfit your obsession. Special thanks to Subaru of Ventura and the Latino Business Expo. This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.